What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. We got some bets. We got a betting video. I'm excited to be back doing this again. Clash is about a month away, a little less than a month away. So we got futures for NASCAR Cup. I got a future for NASCAR Xfinity. These are some bets that I feel pretty confident in. And like I said, I'm just so happy that we can be back doing betting videos because it's about that time, and that means that NASCAR is close to returning, and that starts with the Clash. But let's get right into it. So I have a few future bets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 future bets that I want to go over with everybody here today. Shout out Rhode Island Sportsbook for having over and under on season win totals and already releasing them. I do not see those on DraftKings Sportsbook. I did not see those on FanDuel Sportsbook. So shout out Rhode Island Sportsbook that they have these, and we can make some bets on them. So these should be, look, I don't know where you'll be betting. I believe these are on Barstool Sportsbook. Maybe if you're betting in any of those states. I assume these should be coming soon on DraftKings and FanDuel. So be patient. If you can find them, other places, definitely. The odds and the win totals are pretty much the same on the books. It's just a matter of if they've been, released on the books yet. So with that, let's get right into it. So the first bet that I'm looking, future bet, Chase Briscoe over a half win. That would be minus 145. I love this bet. I'm putting this bet first because this is the one I'm most confident in. Chase Briscoe got hot at the end of the year, almost made it to the Final Four to fight for a championship. A good amount of his top fives and top tens came in the playoffs. I just feel like he's going to take a step next year. He, to me, is the next guy at Stewart-Haas Racing. He's Tony Stewart's guy. Yes, Stewart is a big Ryan Preece fan, and bringing Preece in, that should be interesting. But with Kevin Harvick on the way out and the door kind of opening for a new superstar at SHR, I think it will be the rise of Briscoe. I look at his Christopher Bell's year last year, when he started to have 3 wins, make it to the championship. Year before he had that 1 win, and then he makes the big jump, is what I'm saying. Last year, I feel like Chase Briscoe, this is that year for him. This is that Christopher Bell year where he makes the jump and shows that he's a legitimate title threat in this series. So look, he's also a good road course racer. I think a lot of people looked at him to win Indy road course this year. Didn't happen. Maybe in 2023, that's a race that he wins. But look, like I said, he got hot. They showed a lot of flashes towards the end of the year and in the playoffs. And plain and simple, I just think he's the man at SHR moving forward. So minus 145, Chase Briscoe over a half win. Bubba Wallace also over a half win, minus 165. I don't love the number. I would have liked to see it kind of closer to 140, like the Briscoe number, but I like the bet. I think there's an urgency for Bubba Wallace to make the playoffs now more than ever. He has shown he can win in this series. He's got a super speedway win, and then he kind of dominated a 1.5-mile race last year. Probably should have won Michigan. So you look at 2 races last year, and the first Kansas race, he was great. I can list off New Hampshire. He was great. So there was a lot of times where Bubba Wallace showed real speed. And I think with the addition of Tyler Reddick, that's going to make both the cars better. I think Denny Hamlin, and Toyota are kind of all in on 2311, and we saw the growth and the improvements they made just on a 1 year expansion basically. So Bubba Wallace, I think, like I said, just the urgency for him to make the playoffs. I think a win comes. I think he will make the playoffs for the first time in his career. And I think that'll kind of secure his job moving forward. Look, I really think, I think Bubba would be on the hot seat if he does not make the playoffs this year. I really mean that. And I know he's a good driver. He showed flashes where he can be a guy. I mean, look at last year, that kind of second half of the season, he really showed what he could do. And I think it comes pretty early with Bubba Wallace next year. I don't know if he gets 2 wins, but I do think he's going to knock himself into the playoffs with a win for sure. This bet, I'm excited about this bet. I'm ready for this bet. Kyle Busch over 1.5 wins plus 120 plus money for Kyle Busch to get 2 wins. It didn't happen this year. It happened the year before. This to me is a prove it year. I am very, very high on Kyle Busch. Some are not. Others are as high as me. I think there's really no in-between line of you either think Kyle Busch is back and he's fighting for a championship, or you think, no, it's the same Kyle Busch. He'll maybe make it to the round of 8 if he's lucky. But he's kind of past his prime. I do not think Kyle Busch is past his prime. I think this is the change of scenery that he needed, his family needed. I think they all needed this change of scenery. And there's a couple guys, right, that you just kind of don't just give up on. For me, Tom Brady, that's one of them, right? I would never count out or doubt Tom Brady. Kyle Busch, the numbers, the championships, they speak for themselves. He is a guy that I will never count out until he literally hangs it up. So I'm not going to count this guy out. I am very high on him this season. I think he's my number 1 Daytona 500 pick. So that would be the first win, and then we would just need one more. But I think a bounce back year for Kyle Busch, is due. Also, too, something that I was chatting with somebody, one of the fans about is, Kyle Busch is a really good road racer, and Reddick won a couple road races last year in this car. So, I think Kyle Busch, maybe he shows you that he can win at a road course, which we haven't seen since I think Sonoma was the last road course Kyle Busch won in the Cup Series. But he's shown he can do it. So over 1.5 wins plus 120. Brad Keselowski over a half win minus 150. Really good value here. Brad Keselowski to me is not going to settle for a winless season again. He's too talented. He's a champion. He's too good in this league to go back-to-back winless seasons. And like Briscoe, if you look at the numbers, RFK really started to heat up at the end of the year and kind of showed their speed. That's when Chris Buescher got the win, was the playoffs. Keselowski won a pole at one of the bigger tracks during the playoffs. So I like this bet. I think if they can add speed at the 1.5 tracks, which again got better for them at the end of the year, I think this is a lock. I really do. And you look at Keselowski, the guy's an amazing super speedway racer. So you have 6 chances, 2 Daytonas, 2 Degas, and now 2 Atlantas for him to just win one of those, right? And he usually does win a super speedway per year. So a half win, I think that's pretty much a lock. I don't see a guy like Brad Keselowski going back-to-back years without winning a race, right? I mean, that's just crazy to think. So minus 115, good value there. Let's move to the Xfinity Series. This is the only kind of other bet I have besides Cup. But I think, with these 5 bets, you can make some good futures, make some good money. The nice thing about futures is you place them so early on, right? And then come, let's say it's May or June, you get a free payday, whether it's 150, 200, just 50, whatever it is, you get a free payday. You can use that to bet on, next week's race or whatever. So that's kind of why, I enjoy futures. Xfinity, Brandon Jones to win the title plus 1,000. That to me, as I look at that board, I see Cole Custer's the favorite. Pretty low number. I think it's like plus 300. You got Josh Berry right there. But to me, the value comes with Brandon Jones at plus 1,000. The knock on Brandon Jones right now in his career, still a young guy. Let me get his age up. What is he? 20? He's 25. 5 career wins in the Xfinity Series. The knock on Brandon Jones right now is that he can't put together wins. And I get it. I understand that. But to me, this is the jump that Brandon Jones needed. He's no longer on JGR. He'll be moving to the 9 car with JRM. That car has shown that it can win. That team has showed that they can win. I just think the fit here is perfect for Brandon Jones to take that next step in his career. I just feel like it was getting a little sour, especially with the kind of run-ins that he and his teammate Ty Gibbs had last year. I think it was getting sour for him at Joe Gibbs Racing. Spent 1, 2, 3, 5 seasons there. Was consistent. I mean, like definitely had the consistency to make a run at a championship, but just couldn't get the win. So, like I said, I think this fit is perfect for him. I think he's going to win at least 3 races next year and be a legitimate title threat. I mean, like, is he my favorite to win? No, but when I look at this number plus 1,000, this is just going to continue to go down and down and down and down. So I would get it now while it's hot. Maybe you can get it. Maybe he starts off pretty slow. He has like three races, like 1 top 10 and 2 bad races. And you might be able to get that number a little bit higher, maybe closer to plus 1,500. But to be honest with you, I think this is the best number that you can get Brandon Jones to win a title at plus 1,000. So those are the bets I have for futures. Not a ton, just wanted to share a few with you. Chase Briscoe over a half win for 145. Over a half win for Bubba Wallace at minus 165. Over 1.5 wins at plus 120 for Kyle Busch, and over a half win for Brad Keselowski at minus 115. And then looking at the Xfinity Series, we've got Brandon Jones to win the title at plus 1,000. Appreciate you guys watching. Happy to be back doing betting videos. Continue to watch out because we're going to have the Clash betting preview show coming soon. So, be on the lookout for that. And as always, give us a like, subscribe for more content. Thanks.